Good morning. I'm Kevin O'Connor, and I am chairperson of the Congregation Stewardship Team, here to announce that today is the start of the 2024-25 Stewardship Campaign. For those who may be newer to our congregation or those visiting us for the first time, Unitarian Universalist congregations like ours rely heavily on our membership to fund the cost of operations. So each year around this time, we embark on some sort of form of a pledge drive, an invitation to generously support our religious home. This year, we've chosen our campaign theme as Living Love Out Loud. Each Sunday, we affirm that love is the spirit of this church. Love compels us on our mission of compassion, joy, and justice. As members of the Unitarian Universalist Society of Schenectady, we aspire to hold love as a foundation for all of our relations with those whom we know and those we have yet to meet, with those whom we agree with, and even those whom we don't. Love is an antidote to hate and divisiveness we hear too often in public discourse these days. Our call is to live love out loud, not necessarily in volume, and through action. Living love out loud is working together for a community of equity and inclusion. Living love out loud is teaching and mentoring our RE children and youth, our UU principles and values. It is social action, UU the vote, downstream justice, and caring for the earth through green sanctuary. Caring community is living love out loud. And generosity is living love out loud. It's going to take an increase of generosity to fulfill the aspirations of our spiritual home. We need to support our ministries, compensate our staff fairly, continue to grow our programs and activities while maintaining our facilities and grounds. Costs are only increasing. This year's campaign goal is at least $456,000. And I've invited the lay members of the Board of Trustees, the Finance Advisory Committee, the Investment Advisory Committee, and the Stewardship Team to pledge early to get the campaign going. And I'm happy to report that these generous folks, have already committed $82,000 in startup pledges. I am one of those early pledgers, and I increased my pledge commitment 10%. Raising my annual contribution to $5,240. This represents 7.5% of my take-home wages. It's a contribution I feel good about. And I contribute this amount because I can. And I know other households in this congregation who cannot contribute at this level. I'd like to think that I am contributing to my values. I remember a sermon from one of our former ministers, Reverend Russ Savage, from this pulpit, who asked, "What would your checkbook, what would your credit card statement say about you? What are you spending your money on? Are you spending more on restaurants, cable, entertainment, than you're spending on activities or beliefs you aspire to? I'd like my checkbook to show that I'm spending as much or more on my values of holding the dignity and worth of all persons, justice, equity, and compassion, the right of conscience, and respect for the interdependent web of which we all belong. So giving to my spiritual home $440 each month feels right to me. I choose to contribute conveniently through monthly automatic bank withdrawal that the church arranges through its Venco service. Following today's worship service, members of this congregation and those who have pledged in the past will be able to pick up their individualized pledge packets over by the fireplace table to the south part of the building here. These packets contain information about our congregation, including some sobering information about what it costs to operate, and pledge forms. For those on Zoom and others not attending in person this morning, your pledge packets will be mailed to your home addresses this week. And I know a few of you on Zoom who are snowbirds and away from your home addresses. You can visit our website and review the stewardship page and make your pledges online. So for those of us in the Great Hall today, I ask that you, after service, go and pick up your packets and take these packets home, review the contents closely, discuss in your households, and choose a pledge contribution that feels right. Please be as generous as you can. And we'll ask that you return these pledge commitments, your completed pledge forms, in 2 weeks, Sunday, March the 17th, and join us on Celebration Sunday when you can turn in your pledge forms. And some of you who are newer to this congregation and haven't pledged before, we do have some extra copies of stewardship materials. You are quite welcome to stop by the table after service and ask for copies to take home with you. The Stewardship Campaign is yet another way to get to know UUSS and what we care about. And we hope you find connection with what you read, and hope that you consider making a pledge for the coming 2024-25 year. And that you'll join us on Celebration Sunday, March 17th, whether or not you're ready to make a pledge commitment or as somebody new to our congregation. And as I'm speaking here today, I realize there may be some who are in financial distress and wonder if you can make a contribution at all. If you are one of those households, please speak to the ministers to see if UUSS can help you in any way. Consider how, where, or when you have experienced living love out loud in this congregation. And then stop by the stewardship table, and then afterwards visit the program table in the back and take a sticky note thought bubble, and jot that experience down, your experience of living love out loud, and share that on the banner. I'm sure the messages will be powerful. There are many messages up there already. Please read them. And I'm sure this will be a reminder of how valuable this spiritual home is. So I hope you'll join me in increasing your pledge as you can. And may that commitment feel right for you. And may you appreciate generosity as a vital expression of living love out loud.